Hey, what's going on everyone? Sam here with Lake Pro Tackle, doing another video on another Shimano reel here. Guys, this video we're gonna be going over the Shimano Curado K 200. This reel has been an amazing reel in my arsenal over the years. I've got a couple of them that I still use today. This reel right here is one of my favorites because it's a great reel to do a lot of different techniques on. You know, some reels, they don't have quite enough line capacity. This 200 size reel here, I can throw big swim baits on it. I can throw crankbaits. I can do Texas rigs, Carolina rigs, Alabama rigs. Just about anything I want to do on it, I can do it. We're going to go over the specs on it. We're going to do an unboxing, kind of, you know, if you're looking into a Curado K, maybe this one's for you, and you're going to find out why. I'm going to go over all the technologies in it, kind of what I use it for, and you know, some of the specific purposes that I find in the reel. So we're going to go ahead and do the unboxing here. But if you aren't following the channel, guys, please subscribe. We'd love to have you follow us on our journey here. We're a small tackle shop up in Gainesville, Texas. You may have seen us online, social media. If you aren't following, go follow us, Lake Pro Tackle. We post a lot of our drops, like our bait drops, when we get new stuff in store. Of course, we're gonna let you know as soon as we get them on social media, and then quickly following on YouTube here. But guys, we're gonna go ahead and do the unboxing. Again, the Shimano Curado K 200. They've got 3 different sizes in this reel. You know, just the standard 6-speed. Actually, they have 4 different sizes. They've got a 5-gear ratio, 6, 7, and 8. So right off the bat, you know, we're gonna open this box and you're gonna see 2 manuals. One's gonna tell you how to work the tension knob. The other one is gonna be a parts list. If anything goes wrong on your reel, all you have to do is look at this schematic here. If you find that part, you can find it on here. You can go on Shimano's website and you can find out the exact part that you can order, and you can just order it, install it yourself, or send your reel into Shimano and they will fix it for you. So we've got the manuals here. We're gonna set them up there. Next up, we've got the Bantam oil. Now this oil is meant for your bearings, not your gears, and the grease, do not put it in the bearings either. What I like to do with this guy here is I will take a needle or a small nail, make a nice puncture in the top, and then that's all you need. You don't need a lot of oil in your bearings. Just 1 drop will do in each. So there's that. We've got the manual, got the oil, and now we've got the reel. Box is empty now. So we'll just set it right here, right there. That looks good. Now here is the reel. Comes in bubble wrap. So every time you get one, it's gonna be nice and fresh, no scratches or anything. And this is the reel. So it is a very cool looking reel. It's got almost a grayish black finish. It's gonna be a little glossy, not too glossy though. It doesn't stand out too much. And it just straight off the bat, guys, it is an amazing looking reel. So like I said, there's 4 different Curado Ks in the 200 size. You're gonna have the Curado K PG, which is the 5-speed, a 6, 7, and 8 respectively. Just right off the bat, we're gonna jump straight into the technologies in this reel. First off, it's got a CI4 Plus in it on the body, and that's gonna be the reinforced carbon fiber on it. So it won't flex when you're reeling. It's a very rigid body. You're not gonna have to worry about breaking it. It is a very robust reel, and that's kind of the first thing that comes to mind when I think of my Curados, is that they are very robust. I mean, they're hard to break. I haven't broken any. I've never had a part fail on it. Next up, we've got cross carbon drag, and what that does is allows you to spin this drag knob, and you can spin it a whole lot, and you have a whole bunch of different settings. So, you know, pushing it all the way forward is gonna be locked down, and, you know, you can go half sets. You know, each click, it allows you to find that exact sweet spot that you want when you're fighting fish. So you loosen it up all the way, and it is super loose. You know, so you've got a lot of variability there. Next up is gonna be the Hagane body, and that's gonna be the aluminum reinforced body here. Like I said, it goes along with that CI4 Plus technology, just making the whole body of the reel super strong. It won't fail on you. Next up, micro module gearing. Now this, if you watched our other videos on the SLXs, the SLXs do not have micro module gears, and what this does is it allows your gears to mesh a whole lot better than with bigger gears. So the teeth on this micro module gearing on this Curado and up in the series in Shimano reels is that it allows you to have a very smooth reel through that throughout the entire life of this reel. It's gonna stay really smooth right out of the package, and it's gonna stay smooth that way for as long as you use it. Next up, it's got a S3D spool, and that is gonna allow you to make effortless casts. It's gonna reduce vibration in there. It's gonna be a thin-walled aluminum spool, really just allowing you to make very accurate and precise casts. Along with that, in the spool, it's got super free spool. When you hit the clutch bar here, nothing's gonna be touching that spool to allow friction on there, so it's gonna be free spinning on those bearings. Next up, we've got SVS braking on it, and the SVS technology is super cool. It allows you to make really long casts with you know, a lot of variability in there. So not only do you have the tension knob on this reel, you've also got the external braking dial here, as well as that SVS spool, which has got these little, I like to call them like flower petals, that you can click on and off to add extra braking to your casts. The last really cool piece of technology that we're gonna go over here is gonna be the SARB. These are gonna be your sealed bearings. So the Curado has 6+1 roller bearing. So the last technology we're gonna go over here is gonna be the SARB bearings. These bearings are gonna be sealed. So if you're fishing in salt water or something like that, they're gonna be very resistant to that salt water and not corrode on you. So along with being a very robust reel, this Curado K here comes in around 7.6 to 7.8 ounces. Depending on which one you get, it's actually gonna be very similar in weight to the SLX DC here. That DC technology just adds a little bit extra weight with that chip in it. This one here, the reason why it's a lot heavier than something like the Chronarch or just the standard SLX or a lot of other Shimano's reels is that it is a workhorse reel. It's a little bit bigger size with that 200 size, as well as being beefy and built to throw bigger baits. So if you're throwing like a 10XD, an 8XD crankbait, you know, a C300 by 6 cents, something really big. I throw a lot of Carolina rigs on mine, ranging from ½ an ounce all the way up to 2 ounces. This reel can handle it. And with that bigger reel comes a bigger spool size, so I can put a whole lot of line on here. Again, the weight of it, 7.6 to 7.8. You're looking at 6+1 bearings, and it's gonna have 11 to 12 pounds of drag. And again, if you've watched our other videos, you know, 11 to 12 pounds of drag, guys, you can lock it down. It's not going anywhere. For me, even 10 pounds of drag is totally enough when fighting almost any fish other than, you know, something that's not bass, basically. Stripers, you probably want anywhere from 10 to 12, even more. But, you know, I've fought big stripers on Curados, and they definitely hold up to the task. Now, this reel here is retailing currently for $189.99, which is actually the exact same price as the SLX DC. But again, you're going after a different fishing style. The SLX DC can throw a lot of lighter lures very easily with that DC technology. This Curado K here excels in throwing bigger lures, but you can still get away with throwing something like a 1.0 square bill by Strike King. You know, it can throw a wide range of different lures. And that's what I really love about it. You know, I think I've had a bunch of these, and I'm down to 2 of them now. I've got a lot of Metaniums that can throw a lot smaller stuff than this Curado can, just because it's a little more specialized, more bearings, lighter spool. But this guy here has been a staple on my bigger swim bait rods, on Carolina rig rods, big crankbaits, especially with that PG size or with that PG ratio, which is that 5.6 ratio. I think they're super awesome. We're gonna go over kind of everything that you can do to tweak this reel, kind of make it your own, how you like to fish it. Starting with the drag star, it's gonna be a metal drag star, which I think is a really good upgrade from the SLX series. And I really like, again, on this reel, it's a super awesome looking reel, guys. Almost glass, it's almost a glossy matte black, if that makes any sense to you. It's got a gold highlight on the knob here, which I think is a really good addition. The spool has a couple holes in it to lighten it up a little bit. And we're gonna go ahead and pop the side plate off. And what I really enjoy about this reel, actually, one of the biggest things is that it has something that catches the side plate so it doesn't fall off into the water. So to open this reel, all you have to do is you're gonna flip the reel over, and you can see there's a little slide here. It says open and close. You're gonna flick that back and it's gonna pop out. Your spool might pop out, so watch out there. But you can see that side plate is actually held on. You don't have to worry about your side plate falling in the water or anything. And right there, you've opened it. So now that you've done that, you can see on the inside on that side plate, you can see that bearing there. All you have to do to keep your reel nice and oiled is just one single drop in there, and it's gonna be fine for, I don't know, like a month or so, depending on how much you fish the reel. Next up, you've got the spool, and we're gonna go back to the SVS spool. You can see here, it's got like almost like flower petals on here. When these are pushed outwards, that means that spool, that braking is turned on, and there's 4 of them on the spool. If we want to turn all the braking off, you can flick all those pedals upwards so that way they don't move, and you're gonna have a lot freer spool. It's gonna spin a lot faster. And you want to make sure you have a higher braking setting and maybe a higher tension setting when you do that. Generally, I will have 2 on, 2 off. If I'm throwing something really big, I'm going to just turn all of them on and just loosen up the spool tension a lot more. So we're going to keep the spool out as we talk a little bit more about the reel. All you have to do to get that side plate back on is push it back, and you're going to click that lever forward. Back into the closed position. So like I said, there's a bunch of ways you can play with this reel, not only just the tension, but you've got the spool settings and you've got your external braking settings, which is the small dial in the very front of the reel opposite the handle. And you're gonna have settings ranging from 1 to 6, 6 being the highest braking that you can do. Actually, sorry, excuse me, it's 1 through 5. And I will generally have mine anywhere from 3 to 4. That's just where I like mine, because I do like a looser tension knob. That way I have a faster startup at the start. So generally when I'm fishing, I'm gonna have 2 on, 2 off on the spool. I'm gonna have a pretty loose tension knob, and then I'm gonna have my external brake anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe even almost 5. That's just how I like to fish it. Generally, I can get a very extremely long cast without having to thumb the spool that much. But that's kind of it in terms of the reel itself. Again, it's a workhorse reel. If you're looking for one to throw bigger baits on, have a lot more line capacity, this is gonna be a great one for you. You can frog with it. It handles braid very, very well. With the bigger capacity, you can throw bigger braid on it. So if you're punching very heavy stuff, matted vegetation, you've got bigger line on it, this reel can handle it. Very robust. Micro module makes it smooth all the way through its life, guys. And one big thing too that I will mention, that the Curado K XG does come with a bigger handle, a longer handle actually. You're gonna get a couple more millimeters out of this handle here. You can see it's pretty long. Now the other ones, the regular 6-speed and the 7-speed, they're gonna have a slightly smaller handle. I don't know why they did that. I personally do enjoy this bigger handle on the XG model. I do wish that I had a bigger handle on the HG a lot of the times, but you can always just switch the handles out if you want. And again, aftermarket handles are also a thing. So if you are looking to upgrade your reels in certain ways, there's always aftermarket parts. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you're following the channel here, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when we post new videos. We've got a whole awesome content scheduled for January, February, and then, on from there. We're just looking forward to this new year. I hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you next time at Lake Pro Tackle.